I think we're on. Technology hopefully will work. Hi, Scott Guenthner.
Oh,
Uh, we're happy to do one of our first Zoom interviews. We're going to give it a go. I'm Barb Paulson from the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association, joined by my rodeo announcer husband, David. And we're happy to link up today with two-time steer wrestling champion of Canada, Scott Guenthner, over in the Provost area, right?
yeah. I'm actually just north of concert today, but yeah, Provost area.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy, Scott. And first of all, how are you doing?
Good. Haven't really had a stop moment since I got home. I came home on March 12th, or left Texas on March 12th, and got home on the 14th, and I really haven't stopped working since then.
Hit the ground running.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I've had people text me, "Oh, what have you been doing?" Well, I haven't really stopped working since I got home that day, so yeah, it's not going to change much.
And what exactly are you working at? Just fill us in a bit. Obviously, this is your life away from rodeo.
Yeah, so as of now, on our ranch, we calve out 1,100 cows. Yeah, we're pretty busy. There's four of us. Kind of the girls have babies and kids, so that no one really helps. They just kind of do what they want when they want. But it's usually my dad, my two brother-in-laws, and myself. Brother-in-laws kind of do the feeding part of the aspect and feed all the cattle and stuff. And then my dad and myself check cows. There's two different bunches, an older bunch of cows, and then the heifers, and dad usually checks heifers and I check the cows. So it keeps us busy pretty much all day long. I don't really get home usually till about 10 at night. So no really rest for me right now.
And just looking back, I mean, it sounds to me like you're enjoying what you do, but it's definitely a departure from last November in Red Deer when you were named for the second time Canadian steer wrestling champion. And just looking back a little bit at that, you had your first child I think it was right before the CFR. And
yeah.
Take us back a little bit. We're obviously living through a different time right now. What did that week or 10-day period in your life mean to you?
Yeah, so actually it was 3 days before the CFR. My little baby decided he wanted to be born, which was a good thing. Yeah, it was kind of a roller coaster, a lot of emotion, and a lot of probably not really focused on what I need to be focused on, I won't lie. The first few days of the CFR did not go well. I kind of looked like a ding-dong there, in my words, but it all worked out in the end. I came in as season leader, so I had a little bit of a lead, so a couple bad days didn't really hurt me, but other than that, I mean, it's been busy since then. I mean, he's growing up very quickly. He's 6 months as of yesterday. He's fairly busybody. He's been with me all winter pretty much. I think I was away from him for about a week and a half when I left for Texas in January, and then they flew down, and they've been down there with me ever since. So yeah, it hasn't really slowed me down, and it hasn't really made anything easier. I will promise you that. Rodeoing with a kid is a lot harder than I expected. When they don't really want to travel very far, they only want to go a couple hours in the car seat, and they decide they don't want to be in there anymore. There's no real just keep driving because they just get louder and louder and screaming. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it was a good fall. It was awesome to win my second Canadian championship, but I mean, wasn't the easiest one to win. I know that to be focused and stuff was difficult, but we got through it.
I was going to say, Scott, you look back on last year and now, there is a bit of a silver lining to there not being a rodeo season, and that is the opportunity to spend as much time with the family, especially a youngster as you're getting right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the coronavirus has been not the greatest for my rodeo career, but it's been pretty good. It kind of was perfect timing that I get to watch him grow up and see him and see his changes. I mean, every day it seems like it's a new thing he's figured out. I mean, he's laughing now, and he's jabbing away to himself, and he smiles nonstop, and he'll get up and kind of get on his belly and act like he's gonna crawl. He's not going anywhere. He's a little too young yet, but I mean, there's so many things, rolling over, and he's learned to spit, which is really lovely.
That's important for a cowboy.
There's a lot of things that I probably would have missed, and I mean, I'm lucky enough that where I live and where I work, my sister there's three of us kids in my family, and my oldest sister has I guess he'd be 3 months old now, and my sister my middle sister, she has he's just about a year. He'll be in June. He'll be a year. So there's three little baby boys in our family within 8 months of each other. So it's pretty cool to watch. I mean, my middle sister's boy is, starting to crawl, walk, and Quaid's kind of just in that, in the middle there. And then my sister's little boy is just learning, and he just smiles now, and he's kind of starting to sit up by himself. So, I mean, you kind of get to watch all the stages. And then my oldest sister has a 2-year-old daughter that keeps everyone busy. She's a handful. She's got her mother attitude. So, yeah, it's been actually real awesome to be home. I mean, we're supposed to be social distancing, of course, but unfortunately on the farm, we don't really have that option when you're pulling a calf standing beside each other or touching each other. That's how it goes, but somebody's got to feed the world, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of important. And what are you thinking? I mean, it's been a tough go, and we're trying to look ahead with optimism. What are your thoughts on rodeo in general? Yesterday, we saw, the Calgary Stampede, not a CPRA event, but one near and dear to a lot of our hearts. What are you thinking as you look ahead, with where we're headed here?
I mean, I probably have a different attitude than the majority of Cowboys. I won't lie. I mean, I love being at the farm. I like working. I love being here. I don't usually get calving season, so being here is great. Rodeo wise, I think it's been hard, but it's not that it's only rodeo that's I guess being affected by this is the biggest thing. So I think that people have to realize that going forward that it's not only us. There's the CFL. There's the NHL stopped their season. The MLB. All that stuff has shut down for the summer. I think Canada's government has decided that we're only allowed 15 people gathering. That's going to change. But I think for rodeo, we have to stand behind, as contestants, stand behind the committees and our sponsors and stuff and support them. I mean, yeah, they're in tough times. Like they're struggling some of them are struggling to put food on the table for their families, or their businesses are going broke. I mean, special oil companies. Then there's lots of them in rodeo that have oil field jobs or oil field companies that are making negative dollars at this point in time. Even for us cattlemen, I mean, we just sold some counter cows about a month ago that were $1,500 cows, and now they're $500. So, I mean, the prices are going down, but I think as contestants, we just need to stand behind and support them in whatever decision they make. I mean, I kind of feel like no rodeos until the end of August are going to go in Canada as of now, with the 15 people gathering, because there's more than 15 contestants in some events in one day. So I think we just have to support everyone, and I mean, it's a tough time. It's we're not. It's not only just the sports that are having the troubles, it's the whole economy, in my opinion, that's crashing. I mean, we're kind of in like a recession type deal right now. And I think we totally have to stand behind everyone and support them. I know I've seen some people be kind of negative towards, committees, or being mad that, they're canceling rodeos. Well, they don't have a choice. I mean, they don't have an option. They just got canceled. I mean, Calgary Stampede, for example, I was going to be going to Calgary Stampede too. I mean, it's usually a good extra money in your pocket rodeo, but I mean, I've realized, you have to stand behind them. I mean, it's not an easy decision. They said it hasn't been shut down or whatever since 1920 something, I think, or whatever it was. And I was like, yeah, that's a hard decision to make, but I mean, they don't really have an option at this point in time. So I think for rodeo, I think it's a hard thing for people to understand, and people that, don't realize, but I think the next breath that's going to open some people's eyes that, you may have to have a job or some extra income, especially when rodeo is going to go like this. So, it has a trouble, a bad year like this, you have to have some other income to make it work.
For sure. And it sounds like you guys, however big the challenges are you're facing in the ranching and beef industry, you're lucky to have that lifestyle and family support through this.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, that's the best thing. I'm working with all my family right here in the yard. So every day I get to see them, and, you be grateful for what we have. I mean, there's lots of people that don't have a job, or they, don't even get to go out of their house, especially I noticed in the city. My brother lives in the city. He works for a commercial real estate agent company, and he doesn't go to work. I mean, he's now sitting at home doing nothing all day long. I mean, at least here I can go outside and ride a horse or chase a cow or, calve cows or stay really busy, whatever. But, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty lucky for what I have. That's for sure.
Scott, I get to ask all the really tough questions, and one of the issues that everybody is really facing, especially guys, it seems like right now. What are you doing about your hair? Because the barber shops are closed. I mean, we're all looking kind of scraggly. How are you handling it? Is Becky helping you, or are you just letting it go? What's going on with that?
Well, actually, if you can tell, I've let it go.
Yeah.
I have a full beard at this point.
I see that.
Little spotty on some spots. I've never had this long beard. I actually have not shaved since I got home on the March 14th. And my hair is really not much better. I wore a hat because it's kind of long. Also,
Don't take your hat off.
Becky's threatened to cut my hair. I told her I'm not cutting it until they let me out of quarantine, which she told me, you're going to look like, we're not sure what I'm going to look like. But, I need to get a haircut. But my sister-in-law is actually a hairdresser, so if I'm lucky and I go,
yeah, you're lucky.
I might actually get her to cut my hair. But I haven't really decided on my beard. I actually was thinking when you guys said, we got to interview today. I kind of look like a disaster, actually, and not really kept very well, and hair is kind of everywhere. But usually I'm just busy and going like nonstop, so I'll just not worry about it.
Okay, so let's go back for one more minute. I want to go back to the Canadian Finals Rodeo one more time, because one of the really cool things at the Canadian Finals Rodeo and your career over the last couple of years has been Tyson, the amazing horse, Curtis Cassidy's horse that you've ridden and had so much success with. And can you just talk about Tyson and what makes him so special?
Yeah, Tyson, that's another topic, but I never got to ride the other ones that Kurt's had. But Tyson's biggest thing for him is he's honest, and he always leaves the corner real hard. Like his first 30 feet is extremely fast, and that's where you need in the bulldogging. A lot of guys ride a fast horse, but some horses it takes them a while to get going. Whereas he from the corner is so electric and so strong that, I mean, the first few feet of it or whatever is super easy. You just got to be in your position to get off. And the other thing, I mean, he's easygoing. I mean, he's such a relaxed and, I mean, really, he doesn't care. It seems like when you're bulldogging, you'll go to get on him and he'll just have his head on the ground, just, whatever, I'm just kind of here. And then, you ride in the box and he'll actually back in the corner sometimes when you're like, it's even, on cue, is he going to leave? And then he fires, which I think is a big thing. I mean, I think horses that are on the muscle are a little harder to ride just for, for some people's sake, because they get you nervous and they get you kind of, and they can feel you nervous. So then they feed off of it. And then, then you have trouble in the corner and you kind of get off your game, or, kind of get distracted on what your focus is. Whereas Tyson, I mean, he just kind of backs in the corner, hits the corner. That's where he is.
That's his job.
That's his job. And I mean, if without him, I probably would never have won the Canadian. I won't lie. I rode a couple other horses there. I rode my own horse. She got hurt, and every other thing I've kind of had bad luck with her. But I mean, horsepower is a huge deal in bulldogging, and without it, I mean, you're kind of like riding a stick horse, really. So.
Speaking of riding, like, are you getting in the practice pen at all right now, or is that something that you'll wait for a while until it does look like rodeo's going to resume, or what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I actually haven't run a steer since I got home. Been kind of a nice break, won't lie. Rodeo's kind of taken over my life for the last 4 or 5 years, so this nice break to just not rodeo or not practice, I guess, is I'm taking. And I mean, for right now, I don't have rodeo in the future as of now. I mean, till pretty much the end of May at the rate it's going, if that even, and it would be down in the States at this point in time. And I don't know if they're going to open the border, so I'm probably not going anywhere. So yeah, I'm taking the time off. I have a young horse that I had with me in Texas. He was working and starting to really, really do well, but I've actually been riding him on the ranch and chasing cows and keeping him kind of. I don't think it ever hurts one to get out of the arena and just be a horse and, totally, I guess, get everything off of his brain. I mean, he can get a little warm, so I think it's good for him to get out there. My dad actually just rode him yesterday and was chasing some cows, and it was good for him. I mean, totally, he had to read a cow and watch a cow because they're going in the corral. And I mean, instead of, just running by one full out, right? I mean, I think everything out of the arena also helps him. And then, yeah, I mean, I'll get back to practicing. I feel like I'm not going to lose everything that I knew about bull logging, I hope, but
I'm sure you won't.
no.
So listen, I want to thank you again, and
Yeah.
Barb too, for taking the time to be with us. And let's leave it at this. Let's think a little bit about the future, and when rodeo does resume. Are you planning to go as hard as you have in the past? Are you going both sides of the line, back to the NFR hopefully, and maybe another Canadian title? Are those some of your goals once we do get back to where we should be?
Yeah, as of now, I mean, yeah, I think I'll go back to right where I was, at, going to the States and up here in Canada and trying to win the CFR and then go back, and go back to NFR and stuff. I'm not really sure how the end of this year is going to go. I kind of haven't decided. I mean, as of now, I kind of feel like the CFR might be not going to happen either, but NFR, I think, in my opinion, will probably go. It's going to be just difficult to maybe get there if we can't get our borders open till who knows when. So in that case, I mean, I'm kind of almost writing this year off a little bit as of right now. And we'll see. I hope to get back going to the States. The last little while I've been like, oh, I don't know if I can really leave as much as I used to. My dad is and he kind of runs majority of this place quite often, checking cows and stuff. And I don't really think he can manage them all by himself anymore. So it might change my opinion, but I mean, I'll definitely rodeo in Canada for sure if I didn't get to go to the States, but we'll play that by ear, I guess, when it gets back to the time, hopefully sooner than later, I guess.
Well, listen, best of luck the rest of the way with calving and your family. And we're really excited that you joined us. And I'm sure we'll check in again before too long.
Sure. Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much.
Be well and stay safe, Scott.
All right. You too, guys.
Thanks.